So I am Sophia. I'm here to present you my coaching model and more specifically about Skinny Talk. And Skinny Talk is the company I created and I set up here in Portugal. The logo I will not describe today. I will describe to you what Skinny Talk stands for and how the coach and what the coaching model is all about. So I will hopefully keep you hooked throughout this entire presentation. Now, what else can you expect in today's topics? And pardon my agenda topics, because as a trainer, that's what we're supposed to do, is to bring you in this journey of, well, what can we expect and what are you going to talk about? Well, there's two parts to this presentation. The first part is a little bit about me, my background. I'll share with you my purpose. That still is a work in progress, which I think we're always a work in progress, and also my definition of what coaching is through the experience that I've had coaching and being a coaching client as well. The second part is really about Skinny Talk. What Skinny Talk stands for, the acronym of Skinny Talk, what it's all about, what you can expect, and also finally, what is the coaching model that came to fruition throughout the Skinny Talks that we've had over the last years. But first, who is this girl? Well, this is me. I'm Sophia Darkawi. I'm half Moroccan, half Portuguese, and I was born and raised in Belgium. And just for the record, yes, they're Belgian fries. Freedom-based lifestyle since 2018. Before that, I worked in corporate. I love working with corporate. I do not always align to working in corporate. So I decided that in order for me to be at my best, to be as productive and as giving as I would like to, in order to help people reach their potential, that was my idea. I would like to live and work wherever I want to. And creating my freedom-based lifestyle has helped me staying close to my family and meeting people wherever I work. And freedom, family are just two of my values. And I would like to put the emphasis on value because this is what we are going to see popping up here and there in my presentation. And as weird as this may sound, but as a kid, I was really afraid to speak in public. And then I became a sales trainer. So that's the irony of my life. I would basically literally cry in front of the whole class. And that was up to when I was in my mid-30s and I had no other choice because for some weird reason, I decided to become a sales coach. Yay. So there's my challenge of getting out of my comfort zone. Now, throughout all of this experience that I've gathered in my professional and also personal life, I was thinking about my purpose, but more specifically going through this coaching journey. And I always thought, well, what's purpose really? And what is it that I really want to do? I've had people smirk at me, especially when I said, well, basically my purpose is to put a genuine and confident smile on your face. Because we all know what it is like to just go, yeah, I'm good. But what I really want is to see that confident smile on people's faces. And that is what I see when I deliver workshops, when I come to the end of a coaching conversations. Have I had people laugh at me? Yeah. Do I care? No, not really. Because what I really want is to see people thrive and become and be that beacon of confidence, all so that everyone can lead their life and work through their values with confidence. And here comes the word value again, and confidence, as this is really what working with people, I've seen so much, working with leaders, that people just lose confidence. And why is that? So that's really what my purpose is about, to put that genuine and confident smile on your face. Now, when it comes down to my coaching definition, what I see as coaching is that it's really a partnership that is built on trust, honesty, grit and persistence to drive one another, both you as my client and myself, to go beyond any of the mental limitations that we have or that we set up. So that's really my coaching definition. And that's what I'm really adamant to be working on during coaching conversations. Now, with Skinny Talk, now what does skinny really stand for? And is it a little bit about a diet? Yeah, most probably, yeah. It's not about your body. It's really about your mind that we're going to, reinvent something or just take some stuff out to put positive stuff in. Now, the first letter stands for self-confidence. And as the Merriam-Webster dictionary online, of course, because I don't have physical dictionaries anymore, it's really about confidence in oneself and also in one's power and abilities. And that's really something that we work on in coaching as well. To at the end of that conversation, you really want to see people grow and feel confident about the actions that they're going to take. And it's really about rebuilding that self-confidence so that people can communicate with ease and believe in themselves again. Because Skinny Talk also stands for being a confidence builder. And it's really about helping you express yourself with your own words through your values. And when you do that, and a bunch of other things as well, what is also important in Skinny Talk is to give yourself, a round of applause and kudos or praise for what you've achieved in not only during that coaching conversation, but throughout this entire learner coaching journey. That's really what we want to do, is to celebrate the successes along this journey and also see what we are learning together in this journey, from a great day, but also from a day where you go, today is not really my day. And I really don't know what I'm doing here, but let's just work on it. And it's about appreciating yourself. It's about appreciating the knowledge that you bring, the skills that you have. And also learn that when you're by yourself, working by yourself, or just by yourself, is learning how to pat yourself on the back and give yourself your own kudos. So celebrating those achievements is also what Skinny Talk stands for. Now, the I in Skinny Talk stands for introspect. And this is where the real work begins. Because my aim is for you to feel comfortable to have these skinny, honest conversations with yourself, to have that self-communication with yourself, and really to take the time to look at what have you achieved, what are you capable of, and also to continue to encourage yourself when you're having a great day, to keep on going. When you start your day, when you have a presentation coming, that you can tell yourself, yes, I can, whether you started your day with, yes, everything's great, or whether you just spilled like 3 cups of coffee on yourself and you go, oh God, really, is this how my day is starting? So it's really about helping you to be aligned with your values and understanding what your values are, and also using them to make this difference in when you communicate with yourself, especially in this part, and being honest with yourself. Now, being honest with yourself is also learn how to navigate when you're creating your own blueprint, which is basically what we're going to do together. And also look at, okay, well, if this is point A where I'm starting, and that's the actual destination that I want to reach, what are my stops? Where do I stop? When do I need to look back? How do I navigate through this? When there's a hurdle, when there's a jump for joy, how does this also impact me? How does it all impact my journey? And the reason, and there's also one thing that I would like to pause here on in navigating, is that when you look at the map right there, and when I speak about creating your blueprint, it's really you who's going to create that one, because you really are the captain of your own ship. I'm there to help you navigate through it. But it's really like the definition says, it's to steer a course through a medium to make your own way over or through something. Now, nail down is when we're going to talk about making your goals happen. It's about finding out or identifying something really specific. Okay, now this is what I want and why I want it. And, the truth is that all these three definitions of nail down apply in coaching conversations. Which is where you will find clarity once you have identified what is it that I really want? What is it that I want when I leave this conversation? What is it that I want to achieve in this journey? What do I want to, how do I want to impact myself? How do I want to impact others? How do I make this happen? And how do I see myself when I have, nailed it, basically? Now, the why in Skinny Talk is really about you, and there is no better definition than you standing up right now and walking to whichever mirror you have closest to you, or pick up your phone and just switch it to selfie. You don't have to take a selfie, but if you want, you can. You're free to do so. But really, that is the most beautiful definition that you can have, is look at yourself in the mirror and take a moment to really see who you really are. Because usually we forget about who are we. We're so influenced by what other people want us to be that we really forget about who am I and who do I want to be. And that is where the magic really happens. And this is really where our talks are honest and raw, and this is really what I want you to come out with, is to just give yourself the freedom to think, to give yourself the freedom to think about, who am I? How do I want to talk? Do I want to yell today? Well, then just yell. And if you want to jump for joy, just jump for joy, but give yourself that opportunity to talk and to own up to the way that you want to communicate, the way that you want to communicate to others, the way that you want to communicate to yourself, whether that is communicating through speech, through turning off your camera, through writing emails, through writing messages. This is really where all of these talks are coming through. Well, it's really about choosing those means on how you're going to communicate, right? And you've seen me become a bit emotional, become a bit like, oh my God, what, is she going to cry or something? Yeah, a little. But what you really want to know basically is, okay, we know what Skinny Talk stands for. We know, that it is very much centered about you, about the conversations that we're having, about achieving your goals, about creating that trust within our conversations. And you're probably now wondering, well, okay, woman, are you going to rattle on and on about, but what practically, how does this all work? Because it's really good that I can be myself. It's really good that we can have those conversations, but really, do you have a method? And, before I go and tell you, of course, I've got a method. Why else would I be here? I want to share with you what else Skinny Talk is all about. And before I share with you, and I'll just leave you, yes, with this blank presentation, but before I share with you what it is all about, what I want you to understand is the key word here is really about effective communication being the key to success. It's about practicing the active the active listening, not only to others, but also to yourself, using clear language, and also being open to feedback so that you can improve the way you give feedback, but also the way that you receive the feedback. And it's also about establishing trust and maintain different open ways and lines of communicating with yourself, with your colleagues, with your friends and family, which is also part, and anything else that is part of communicating is really that. Please do not forget that what Skinny Talk is also about is that being vulnerable is really showing leadership, is showing true leadership. If you can't do that, then I hate to break it to you, you're not really a leader. And yeah, that's a bit raw, but this is what Skinny Talk is about. Skinny Talk is about the raw, open, and honest conversations that will elevate you while you are talking, that will elevate you while you're creating that roadmap and you navigate through your own journey. And it's about motivating you. It's about motivating yourself. And believe it or not, but you're going to motivate your coach more than you can imagine. And it's really, really about putting your mind on a diet. Look at it as a bit of a swap, you know. And if I'm going to swap coffee for green tea, well, then what does that mean in my mind? That will never happen, by the way. But what are you swapping your mind of? If you say, I can't, well, then what can you do? If you say, oh, I'm too lazy, well, then how can you be more energized? And it's really about thinking how you can put your mind on a diet and how that is then in turn going to motivate and elevate you. All right, that's enough of me and my Skinny Talk sales pitch. So we finally arrived at the destination. Yes, finally. So how on earth, Sophia, are we going to get there? Please share me your coaching model. Okay, well, it's really very simple. So there's 3 pillars to the Skinny Talk coaching model. The first one is we're going to look at how we're going to define your values. And it's really exactly about that. It's about defining and reinforcing your core values by, you know, having that skimmed down conversation with yourself and also think about what those values mean to you and what's most important to you, what makes you tick. And if you think about your values in a work environment, we're also going to see okay, well, if someone scratches that surface, what does that do to you? And how are you going to then communicate through those values? Because your values and your communication, they really have this, they form as one. So it's really about looking at how do I communicate? How do I prefer to communicate? And how do I set my boundaries here? And how do I communicate my boundaries to others? How do I welcome feedback, as I've already shared with you? And for you to understand why it is so important that you understand what your values are, how they impact your communication, the way that you communicate, so that another thing that we're going to work on is how the habits that you've created or that you are going to create impact and are impacted by your values and the way that you communicate. So these 3 pillars is what we're going to work on. Defining your values, how you're going to communicate using your values, and what are those habits that you need to create, reinforce, so that you can create an impact on others. Why did I choose the word impact here? Is because there is always someone watching what we do, whether that's at home, whether that's at work, whether that's, you know, using public transportation. You always put an impact on someone. There's always an impact that you're creating. And how are those impacts created? By your habits. Your habits will influence the way you communicate. In turn, the way you communicate are influenced by your values. So this is why I chose 3 circles instead of the literal pillars of the Skinny Coach talking. Now, this all looks well and wonderful that we have 3 beautiful circles that you know align into each other. But when you really look at that middle part that interconnects all 3 of those, this is where the secret ingredients come. One of those secret ingredients, you can already guess it, is you. Because if there is no you, then what's the point of all of this? And The U is really what we're working on in the acronym as well of Skinny Talk, is to bring, who are you? Now, another secret ingredient that will make this coaching model work apart from you is that we help you set consistent, measurable, and sustainable actions. Because saying that, yeah, you know what, I've got a coach and I'm going through this coaching model and I think it's great and I'm discovering myself. If there is no action, if nothing's measurable, if it isn't sustainable and consistent, there is no result. And then you'll keep on lingering on. So what I would like is for you to, what I want is for you to bring your secret ingredients to it and really believe in yourself, which is what we are going to work on in Skinny Talk. And that's really the bottom line is, to raise your self-confidence, celebrate your successes by, bringing kudos to yourself, having the courage to do the introspection, navigate through every single hurdle and tide that we're going to navigate through, nailing down what it is that you want to achieve and being comfortable with being you throughout those raw and honest conversations. The way we're going to do it is really working on your values, your communication, and also emphasize all those habits that you're already impacting others with. Now, what else can you expect about Skinny Talk? And this may explain a little bit why those colors and the name of Skinny Talk is written, is really about a confidence builder. That's what you can expect here at Skinny Talk. It's to create the sacred space of acceptance and inclusiveness. And we are going to allow for the raw and real conversations by promoting open and honest conversations so that we help elevate each other. Believe it or not, when you're the one asking questions and having someone who, you can see being elevated, you are also impacting your coach. And I want to thank you for, staying with me for these last 25 minutes of this presentation. And I want to give a very, very special thank you to my mentor and friend, Angela, who has been extremely patient in walking me through this journey and finally getting me to present what Skinny Talk is, because she's really helped me define Skinny Talk and my coaching model. So thank you for never giving up on me. And thank you everyone for being true inspirations of, why we should all be proud to be part of this journey together.